Good evening, folks. This is your captain. Uh, we'll have the actual desk camera up here in just a moment. Having to do a little bit of changing around. Sorry we're late. Having to take care of a few things. I love it when I get blown up with messages shortly after I start the evening. All right, there we go. I think we need a little more light on the subject. So let's plug that bad boy in real quick. How is everybody this evening? I hope all is well. Oh, Retro Red in with a first. Now find me a second, sir. Find me a second. That's the important thing. All right, let's get over here and check this one thing real quick. Looking pretty decent there. Done. Save these. All right. And we'll hide that bad boy because we don't need everybody seeing what we're doing. And one last thing before we get into tonight's adventures. I gotta go get a pair of clippers. And B, let's jump in Discord. And while we're at it, let's get the background music rolling. Um, Tonight we're listening to the original soundtrack from the game Heartbound. Um, Surprisingly good game. We'll be playing it on stream sometime in the near future. Uh, Basically, what we're doing here is anytime I'm at my desk, I'm going to try and be streaming live. It's the little things, but we're going to continue to try. It's all we can do at this point. And yeah, we're also probably going to get started on our Sabine Ren, complete with Dark Saber. Um, but I will be right back. we're back. Like the McRib for a limited time. Alright. There we go. And I still forgot my clippers. It's okay. I think we have a plan B. We're just going to move some paints. Yeah, we got another pair hiding over here. Alright, we're just using a pair of cheap Amazon, I mean, really want to call them Amazon. They was thrown in with a 3D printer I have purchased over the years. And opened and opened. Alright. There we go, so the music ain't drowning everybody out. There we go. And all the plasticky goodness. It's hiding out in there. And that won't be painted on stream. Alright, we'll turn this into a mini Ewok, a mini Ewok unboxing. Alright, read this first. You know, if they can give us this piece of paper, they can give us build instructions. Just saying. AMG, if you're listening, please, can we have build instructions back? Really cool piece of poster art. Give me them give me them murder bears. Alright, now that we've enjoyed a piece of artwork for a brief moment in time, we'll kick the plastic out of the way. I work in a very small, cramped space. Soon to be changing as I am building a studio. Alright, so there we go. 10 victory tokens, 3 surge tokens, a core and special forces order token. We're going to set those over here out of the way. Alright, Ewok skirmishers. 40 points, 6 minis a squad, 1 health, 1 courage, white defense dice, speed 2, low profile, unhindered. Give them a heavy weapon, an extra dude, and a training slot. I hope you're ready for up close and personal combat, because all you get's a black die with a spear. Ewok slingers. 35 points for a 6 mini squad. Independent surge 1, low profile, target 1, unhindered. Give 1 health, 1 courage, white defense dice, speed 2. Give them a heavy, extra dude, and a training slot. They got 1 white stones at melee, or we got the sling at range 2. Up range 1 to 2, 1 black per mini and primitive. Yeah, no crits for you. No crits for you. That rock is not beating down that armor. Alright. Ewok Trapper. Add 1 Ewok Mini. Trapper Mini. Unit gains training slot. 10 points. Axe Ewok. 1 red in melee. Pierce 1, Impact 1. Everybody loves Pierce. Call to Arms. Goes on Ewoks only. Exhaust. 5 points. This unit gains 1 suppression token. This unit gains charge until end of round. Insatiable curiosity. Skirmishers or slingers only. Choose an enemy unit in base contact with this unit's unit leader that has a heavy gear or weapon upgrade icon. Discard one of those non-unique or limited upgrades. This unit suffers 1 wound. 8 points to throw it away at the end. Forest Dwellers. This unit gains Scout 1, and at the start of the first activation phase, this unit gains a dodge token. 3 points, training slot. Y'all can have fun to your heart's content on the Ewoks. Alright, we know we're going to need these guys, so we'll go ahead and lay them out. It's 8 of our nice, beautiful gray plastic bases, since it's easier and cheaper to print 1 color than it is 5. Or would just be 6 or 7 at this point. Not a big deal. So we're going to kick those off to the side. Tonight's tools. Cutters. X-Acto knife. Super glue. Super glue accelerator. And the Mr. Cement Deluxe in the yellow bottle. This is available at Hobby Lobby at a reasonable price. So we'll kick these out of the way and those out of the way. If I get a decent cut, I'm not after Golden Demon quality miniatures when I build and paint minis. I'm after something that looks good on the table without a lot of work involved afterwards. Some call it lazy, I call it being reasonable with my time. I have lots of projects, and there's no need to, when I get multiple ways of enjoyment out of these by playing on the table or whatever, I can always go back and add more paint later if I deem that I need to. And remember, that's part of it, it's to have fun. Paint to a standard that you're happy with. Don't worry about what anybody else has to say, because you're the only one that has to be happy with it in the end. You know, it's all right. Looks like we've got all the parts to Mini A. We'll go ahead and do Mini B while we're at it. This would be the Trapper. The first one is the Axe Guy. I really need to paint one of them up. I need to paint one of those, a Skirmisher squad up as an ICP Hatchet squad. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And the Trapper Mini, with a little bit of creativity, could easily be repurposed into a different Ewok. If you decide that you don't want to build however many Ewoks that you desire to build. This is my 6th squad of Ewoks, and this is for Star Wars Legion Expansion 1 SWL 109 from Atomic Mass Games. Alright, so we're going to do these 2 at a time. Cut 2, build 2, cut 2, build 2. And just kind of work our way around through that way. So first things first, do a quick test fit. Make sure our log is going to, you know, we'll do it this way. We'll put a little bit of excessive glue in there. And now that we've put our excessive glue in there, we'll Go a little bit down that seam, a little bit down that seam, and then we're going to put a drop of super glue on a base. You know, I'm going to be excessive with it because I don't want the log coming off the base. Now, you can base how you wish to. These guys are going to get some leaves, small sticks, basically going to take some pipe cleaners, soak them in white glue, and then just kind of see how much we can thin them down. And then his head is really easy. Put a little bit of glue right there, and it goes on, and you'll know once it's right because there's a couple of alignment marks that just fall in place afterwards. And if you goof up and you make a little mistake, I'm not saying add a little extra glue to kind of make some gooey plastic to fix your goof. But you remember what I said earlier about the only person that has to be happy is you? There you go. Now, little there, little there, little where that foot's going to fall, and voila. Our first Ewok Mini is done. Keep everybody in place here. And I know what you're about to say, but Captain, you pulled out that kicker and you didn't use it. Well, my super glue hasn't set up yet, and normally it's set up pretty quick. We're just going to put a small little drop right there, and now we're going to push that dude off to the side. Alright, let's do this next one here. Alright, log together. And this time we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the log. And I can hear y'all, I can hear it now. But Captain, why you put glue on the base last time, glue on the log this time? All I'm trying to show is there's many ways to do what I'm doing. There's more than one way to skin the cat. Proverbially. Do not go and skin your cats, folks. It's wrong and it's bad for the cat. And I will say that they've gotten a lot better, but these murder bears, being super small, don't help causes none. And that foot gets kicked back because he's in mid-stride. Don't understand why. Alright, so there's that. Next up, we'll do this arm. And one more arm. A little bit of glue. Give me a sec. Give me a bundle of sticks, the man says. Alright, chat. I don't want to do this all the time, but let's name these minis. What do we name this guy and his cohort that we just... The axe guy and the trapper. Let's name them. I normally wait until they've had a couple of games under their belt to name minis, but we'll go ahead and name these guys. Yeah, you know what? That might be a little much on the lot. There we go. Second mini down. I am not at this time, sir. Um, I left that place in October of 2022. Do want to thank you for coming by and hanging out with me this evening. And okay. There we go. So what I'm trying to do is I'm for those watching on Twitch, I'm not trying to work through ads. Um, and my timer was not going off like it was supposed to. So I had to go in and fix that real quick. Now I got to work on getting my streamer bot corrected or fully functioning, and we're gonna add speaker bot so when you send us a chat, it goes off every once in a while. And then if it gets too popular, we'll do something a little differently. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Currently, we're not there. And something about this soundtrack, it's just absolutely relaxing for doing stuff like this. And it helps when I work on camera. When I'm not on camera, tell me about it. And I think it was everything. Perfect. Alright. I said we was going to do 2 at a time, so now that we've got all those parts cut, we'll slide them off to the side, and let's get the next guy. So we know we need the spears, not the rocks, so that's what we're going to trim. What's making noise it shouldn't? And doop, doop. Look at that little paw. Ain't it so cute? If I'm not mistaken, this is one of the guys. No, he's actually got a decently flat foot and 2 attachment points. There's one of these guys that you build 2 of, and they're an absolute nightmare. Like, shouldn't. No, 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 no. You shouldn't have a contact point that small from a foot to base. That's where I'm gonna leave that at. Alright, that body's glued together. We'll kick these 2 arms off over to the side. We'll do the same to this one. Now, I'm liberal with my glue. Some people say I use too much. You're going to get a feel for this as you do it if you're just starting out. If you've been doing it a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's that feel that you acquire over time of how much glue that you like to use. Not everything's perfect. Alright, so that body's assembled. Go back to this one. Okay, that problem's dealt with. Ain't even really a problem. Just when people remind you that other people hadn't done what they were supposed to do. It's wonderful. Alright, here's that guy. And I know what you're saying. Well, what are you about to do now? We're going to put some super glue on those dots on those feet. And when you put too much on there, you need a little less. And the worst fear. I've knocked an arm loose. And I've almost glued it to myself. What have I done? Yep. That Ewok wanted to play a game of FAFO. So it did. Alright, 30 Ewok done. And then we're on to the painting process of this stream. And I brought a whole bunch of goodies out. Okay, so I've clearly cut too many things off on this one. So we know we need the horn. Quick test fit, yep, goes on that side. So we know where it goes. Give me that horn. And the other side gets an axe. This dude is ready to blow somebody and chop them up. And this guy's got a little leaf that sits on his foot. Yep, and I've got multiple chemicals on a single Ewok base. We're here to do stuff. Voila, another mini down. And I know what you're saying. Well, you didn't put the. I don't center the minis on the bases all the time. I like to. Sometimes you can create visual effects by leaving minis away from the base or away from the center of the base, moving them to an edge. You know what? I don't want to. I don't. I'll. Nope. We're gonna go ahead and do the worst bear on the sprue right now. So, chat. Do I do a round? Do I do one of the 6 squads as Care Bears? Well, I'm not sure what's happened there on YouTube. We are simulcasting to both YouTube and Twitch. And since these two figures are the same, the pile of parts means nothing. Nothing, I tell you, nothing. But it's all good. It's all good. Because this Care Bear is going to murder you while you sleep. And then it's going to eat your brains. Let's put the lid back on that. Because if not, we'll have ourselves a fine little mess. Alright. Oh no, we've had a bear blow up. It's exploding Ewok. Alright, so there's that. You know, just put a little bit of glue there. Drop it in there. Put this guy in there with now that that guy's done, kick him off to the side, move on to his buddy. And I'm gonna have to do Teddy Ruxpin as a squad leader at some point in time. Hold it in place for a moment. So I'm gonna try and go live again about 4 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna try and start streaming twice a day, every day. That's the goal. Now, whether we actually get to obtain that, now that was the worst part of that bear is unfortunately yet to come. Dude, I gotta get. Yeah. And we're also going to be doing a little bit of 3D design and stuff like that in the very near future on here. Um, Man, that had a lot of LA Woman Doors vibes in that opening of that song. We know it's not, but man, did it have those vibes for a minute. I want to thank everybody for hanging out as always. We're going to be doing this a lot more often. Uh, Doing what we got to do. Yep. Now we got one that don't want to fit right. So what do? You make it fit. It's all part of it. And then you place it somewhere and it fits on its own. We ain't even gonna pull that out of its socket. We're just gonna slide it back, add a little glue, and go. Squeeze it in place, let it set. We're done. Which means this bad boy fits right in there like so. Looky there. It's yet another Ewok. Alright, we're down to the last of them, and then we can start the painting process this evening. And do y'all want to see Ewoks on paint, or do y'all want to see some Wookiees? Probably gonna see both, to be honest. And I will be right back. And we're back after that brief pause, and there was no cause. Actually, there was. Better half getting off work, and it gave all these murder bearers a brief moment to cure. So, chat, steer me in the right direction here. Um, yeah, we're gonna mount the difficult ones first, and what we're gonna do here to make it just a little bit easier, we're gonna put a drop of kicker on the base. And you're like, what good's this gonna do? Well, stay tuned and watch, find out, and I'm gonna show you how this works. Dun, 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 dun. Now we're gonna put a decent little. Actually, no, we're gonna create a slightly bigger flat spot here. And we're going to change the angle of the bear just a little bit. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me none if I drill this guy and put a nail through his toe anyway. We'll call him Jesus. Just a little dab will do. Call him Fred. And, you know, that worked out surprisingly well on that dude. Just add a little drop of kicker to that one. Now, this does reduce the overall strength of the joint just a little bit. But if I'm increasing the strength by applying more glue, there has to be a point where it's worth it. Got something going on with the tip of that bottle. We'll deal with it after the stream, because we're about done. Alright. And the last two dudes. So he's going to deal with it after stream. We're not. Alright. No, of course not. Of course not, Newgate. Of course not. Maybe you should yes, because, you know, Legion things. Ewoks. Beat down by murder bears. You should have some stuff this weekend, FYI. Now, alright. Full squad of murder bears are done. Apologize if anybody might get a little motion sick there as we zoom in a little bit closer here. Alright. Kick those guys off to the side. Grab our Sabine out. Yeah, we're going to paint a Sabine and probably a Han. Actually, just so I can paint the Han. While we're painting stuff. And you know exactly who these are for. Or do I actually reach behind me and grab one of these things of Ewoks that are primed and ready to paint? What direction do we go? Alright. Well, I'm not. Alright. Since that guy don't want to do what I want him to do, we'll make him do what we're going to make him do. Alright. There's that. So there we go. OG Han. Absolutely horrid sculpt from the early days of FFG. I just heard my cat Obi-Wan doing Obi-Wan type things. We're going to need that. Now that would be a million to one question of where did my white paint go? Okay, so we know white, no problem. We'll do this a different way. Alright, so we're going to paint one of the melee squads of Wookiees and one of our ranged squads of murder bears. That's going to be our goal tonight to get done on stream. We're going to work tonight till about 10-ish. Depending on how things go. Especially if we're going to be back at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I can go to my normal job at 6:30-ish. You know, stream what you can, when you can, how you can. That's our goal. And voila, he just laid right on down in place. So you see me grab a few paints and bring them out. So we're going to use that to create various shades of fur. This Jokeroo orange may not be worth a flip. Ooh, I'm right. Ouch. Thanks, GW, for your really shitty pot design. No saving that bad boy. You know what they say. Poke it with a sharp stick. Yep, I'm poking it with a sharp stick. It's done. Oh well. Strike one up for old GW. You know what? Let's, we're gonna do this. Let's make something funny out of it. You know, we can make a meme out of it, or even a short. Here lies a bottle of GW Jokeroo Orange. You served faithful in your days, from your purchase in 2017 to your death on January of 2024. The cause of death was paint buildup around the rim. Your owner failed you and betrayed you with all his might. That has led to your unfortunate demise. We shall pour one out in your honor. Dear Citadel, Jokeroo Orange, may you rest in peace. To the trash can it goes, so it can be properly distributed to its final burial place. Not in my desk. I don't know that I'm going to replace that. Just, I think as time goes on, I'm going to start replacing GW paints with other stuff. And I'm just going to clip that little eulogy out there for a short after it's all said and done. Alright, and I know what you're saying, but Captain, what are you about to use as a dry palette? Well, I'm glad you asked. Where'd my wet palette disappear to? That's right, we're going to use the top of my wet palette as a dry palette. And with this, a little goes a long ways. Do I have any kind of other... Wait. It ain't Jokeroo Orange, but it's close enough. It's rat skin flesh. And the good thing about fur is you can kind of have a little bit of fun with it. Yeah. And we're actually going to do some Wookiees up first. We like our light gray, or the The tan, actually, I think it was Krylon Nutmeg that we used as a base coat on these guys. Oh, who are you? What do you want? Why are you messaging me? Oh, that was Dr. Santa. Alright, so we're going to hit him with a little bit of rat skin flesh and Xandri dust. And then I think for giggles, I'm going to hit one of them with a little bit of Celestra Gray. These are all base coats out of the Citadel range. If you don't have these colors, find something that looks cool to you and go for it. Don't worry about matching exactly. This is kind of a reddish flesh color um, on the rat skin flesh, and we're not doing everything on these Wookiees. I'm just trying to create variations in fur. Just like most normal people's hair is not all the same color. The older you get, the more colors it tends to add. It's just kind of how it works. And all right, so first things first. Oh yeah. Now we don't want a lot here. We just want a little. And then we're going to work it until we're happy with what comes off of it. And then we're just going to pick spots. We're going to dry brush those spots. Mainly looking into fur. Don't worry about it if you get it on the armor. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You know, maybe I want a little redhead Wookie. A little red in the head, fire in the bed. And with his fur, don't be afraid to go a little bit each direction. Normally you would just go on a downward motion with a dry brush because you're trying to demonstrate light effects. But when you're doing fur, you got a lot more creativity options. And you know, Just not happy with that result. So we're going to try it again. And this is the thing about this. If you don't like the look you got, just try again. And then sometimes you get a little heavy. If you get a little heavy, don't be afraid. Return your brush to the dry palette. Scrub it off a little better. And this time we're just going to leave the heavy and go with it. Because some of where it's heavy is... And remember, it ain't got to be perfect. Let it splotch. It's fur. It's Wookiee fur. Chewie wasn't all one color. And now, even though the result is just fairly light, it's there. And alright. Hopefully everybody can see the color gradients a little better than what I'm... Closer to what I'm seeing. See if we can make this a little better for everybody. So this guy's really going to come to life out here in just a moment. So we're going to get this third dude. I've let most of the paint run out of the lid. Down just to the bottom. For our last Wookiee here, really going to focus on that leg to kind of change its overall color. We'll get in there and get some of that on that leg. Get some of that on the bottom that we didn't prime because we're a complete and total idiot. You know, you can also make up for your mistakes here. Did you make a mistake in priming? Dry brush a little bit over it and make it, and because it's fur, it's really easy. Alright, there we go. That's all of that one. Ooh. Let's see if his Zandri dust will come back together. So, first stream in the morning, we're probably going to work on, we're going to see if we can find the paints, my gray and my whites, so I can do Han and Leia, or not Han and Leia, Han and Sabine. See how that goes. Ads in 7 minutes. Appreciate you for telling us, Twitch. So I'm not trying to work through ads if I can help it. We're working on our alerts and everything else to make that a lot better. Just gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna try and spend a few minutes at the end of every stream to make some changes to improve it in the future. That's our goal. We want to get better and actually wouldn't mind doing this as a full-time job, I don't think. Just sit here, play at my desk. Work on all kinds of weird random projects. Oh, we're going to be bringing the NES back in the very near future, too. And if you ain't been around long, the NES was where we took and put a full-blown computer inside an old-school Nintendo console. Alright, I'm going to slide those three dudes out of the way. Oh no, we got Murder Bear down. We must fix... Again, they say... Alright. Let's see what kind of... Alright, you know what? I'm done with your shenanigans. Let's... alter that. Alright, so we're going to hold that guy in place for just a moment. Alright, there we go. Yep. And all we're doing here is really just kind of changing the glow on this particular set of bears. Kind of giving them a little bit of an orangish glow. And, you know, I'm kind of regretting the primer choice here. But we're going to be okay because it's going to work out. It's not the end of the world. And remember what I said, it ain't got to be perfect. We're going to hope I didn't just break that guy off the base again. Yep. Alright, chat. We're going to have a brief talk about the fragility of murder bears. I can't even. Can't even. Here we go again. Trim this guy's foot back one more time. You know, I think yep, I'm gonna let that guy off the hook this evening. He's not gonna get a dry brush. But we are about to bust out some contrast paints. And and you're like, what color contrast paints are you pulling out? Well, I'm about to make a finish. Snakebite leather. I don't need no Leviathan purple. Not doing any apothecary white. Basilicum gray. Sigor brown. And yep, some Black Legion. We're going to use a combination of 5 contrast paints on these dudes. And I think on the Ewoks, I'm going to leave their... Since I got 6 squads to do, we'll figure out some squad markings here soon. Oh, we got ads. We got ads. You know what? I actually think we're gonna put some color on the. We're actually gonna. I think we're gonna pause right here for the evening, and I'm gonna spend. Nope, 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 nope. I'm at least gonna go the next half hour. I'm gonna go the next half hour. Actually, I'm gonna take and hit some of these minis with a touch of gray. The Grateful Dead, touch of gray. Catch my jokes. The silicon gray needs shaking to hell and back. So any of these white-based GW pigment or contrast paints, the white pigment will settle out of them, and it is an absolute nightmare to shake back in it. Yep. All right. Let's. Grades don't sound horrible. It don't look. It don't look good in a jar either. And we're gonna take a drink. Literally. And we don't need but a little bit of gray here. And Basilicum gray has a touch of blue in it to kind of give you that bluish gray look. Great for battleships. Claim to be a battleship historian by any shape, form, or fashion, so take anything I say about color choices for ships with a grain of salt. But oh yeah, this guy's going. And I'm not going to do every mini in the squad the exact same. But we are going to add some detail and whatnot. And you know what? Go in there and give this guy a few highlights. Well, actually going to almost dry brush the blade solid gray. Alright, there we go. Tell you what, we're going to call it right there for the evening. Um, I'm going to spend a few minutes gathering some resources and stuff this evening, so I'm not doing it first thing in the morning. And we'll return to complete a couple of Ewoks, a squad of Ewoks, and some Wookiees. Till next time, y'all have a good evening. Be kind, be good, be safe. This is your captain. We'll see you on the next go round. We will return at 4 a.m. in the morning.